So anytime I'm talking to like a new guy, I would say for the past maybe like 5-6 years, majority of the time they always ask me why I'm single. They can't believe I'm single. They think men are out here approaching me left, right, and center. Let me tell you, like I told them, men do not approach me. Okay? It's very rare that a man out in public, out in the world, will see me. And I don't care how good I look that day. I don't care how good I smell. I don't care about none of that. They're not walking up to me. And that's because my demeanor says I'm good. I don't come off as friendly. I don't come off as approachable. I don't come off inviting. And that's very intentional. Because you're not going to come over here and waste my time. You're not going to come over here and play with me, baby. Like, I'm not the one. And I make it be known before you even open your mouth, before you even fix your legs to come walk over into my space and start exchanging words with me. And I like that. And I'm going to keep it that way. So,
what do you think about that?
I feel her.
Gina?
You feel,
but why do you feel that?
Just because sometimes it's just like you don't want unwanted advances, and sometimes it's just like no, thank you.
What about the wanted?
The wanted will come.
But with you walking around like that, they won't come.
Honestly, I wouldn't approach her even if I wanted to. If she's walking around like that, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, that's just what it is. I used to have a friend, a female friend in the military, that used to tell me like she has what you call resting bitch face, and I hear that. I get it. But the thing is about a man, like, well, just about people. When you go to work, you got a code switch, right? You ever work in customer service? You can't act like that at those places.
I've always worked in those kind of realms, and I think that there's a way to maintain who you are and maintain your professionalism at the same time. I don't change in any job, and I don't go, like, I act like that at work. Like, people, I'm not here to be your friend. And I go in there very serious, straight face. I am cordial. I am nice. I am respectful. We can have a conversation, but it's straight to the point. I don't kiki.
Well, then I don't think that's like you then, because it's like, she's not saying like she's being cordial. It's like she just doesn't want anybody to approach her.
Nah, I have been that way. I have. I've walked around just like do not even think about it. And men will not talk to you.
Hy is it cute?
It's not cute.
No, I'm saying, why are women acting like it is?
Because I think they just don't want to be bothered. Like, I think they just don't want to be bothered. And when you're a little too friendly, men get a little too friendly, and they take.
I can understand.
So it's just like you just kind of just don't want to be bothered with anybody. You're just like, please leave me alone.
Because the part of the reason Kevin Samuels blew up is because of the lonely woman. It's because of like a lot of the women in the black community weren't happy in their situation.
I'm pretty sure when it's somebody she wants to talk to her, she changes her demeanor.
But the thing is, it's like you have millions, like thousands, or hundreds of thousands, millions. You have so many women talking about they have so much like standards, and men are garbage, and this and that. But like behind closed doors, they're really like yearning for the man of their dreams to come approach them, but they act like this. Like that's, I
get that.
That's
it's like counterproductive counterproductive for what you want.
Exactly.
And I think that sometimes women, they have to get tired of their own shit before they realize it's like they're retracting everything instead of filtering what they do want. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I had to learn, like, I remember being like that, and I had to learn, like, you can't walk around like that, because then it's almost like your energy, it's not a good energy. Yeah. It's a little low vibrating to behave that way and to walk around in that manner. There's a way to walk around and still maintain a sense of like, no, thank you. Yeah. And men get that, because I remember when I was like a lot younger, I was just like a little too wide open, and everything would attract me. And then I got to a point where I was like that, and it was just like, I don't want to fuck with none of y'all.
So you was fine tuning.
Right. And so then it got to a point where it was like, okay, how do you want to be perceived by the world? And then it's like, carry yourself that way. And I noticed that in certain places, like, certain like places, I guess you could say the hood, they don't try to talk to me. Because the way I dress, the way I talk, the way I walk, they already know. But if I go a place where it's like a lounge or it's a different atmosphere, the way they talk to me is very different.
I think.
Do you get what I'm saying? I'm approached differently. It's not, hey, yo, what's good? It's not none of that.
I think it's all relative. Like, I think everybody has to remember, like, the best looking people ugly to some people. Absolutely. You get what I'm saying? Like, everybody's pretty, but everybody's ugly. You can't walk around like a guy would like look at her and be like, "Oh, she's pretty." Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or even he'll look at her and not really be into her, and she has just such a beautiful personality, and he's like, "Yo, I think I like her." Yeah. With her walking around like that, you don't even give that guy a chance.
But that's what I'm saying. That's something that a woman has to learn. It's like there's power in being a woman. Do you get what I'm saying? And your power is what you attract to you, what you're able to receive. And it feels like a lot of women just haven't really fine-tuned and honed that power where they are able to receive anything at all.
Go ahead.
That's it.
You know, the thing I was going to say is this. As black men, we kind of get unintentionally trained as kids to be overly approachable because of the stigma of being black.
Women too.
But I feel men more than anything. Black men, because we're looked at as the criminals, we're looked at as the threat. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, like, I'm not saying we are, that's how we look, but we have been looked at as that, you know, due to racism and whatever state it may be. But I think growing up, especially like being large myself, like I was always, I guess I was always, hey, you're speaking a little too loud. You're too big for that. You're too, you know what I mean? Or you're black. You can't do certain things in certain areas or speak certain way. You know what I mean? So we're kind of like, we've gotten that crash course intentionally, but which applies to everything.
Unknowingly, it kind of became like a detrimental thing.
Exactly. So that's set in our minds, and then we see like somebody acting unapproachable and just like, see, this is why I don't fuck with you. You know what I mean? Right.
It creates that dynamic.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure you've had your parents say like, hey, you can't do these type of things, especially growing up in North Shore where like it's a huge like melting pot, but like there's a very big predominant white area. You know what I mean? So like being around is just like, you know how to we know how we conduct ourselves. Like when the other 4th of July, we went to that, you know, whoever's fucking place that was. You know how we act when we in our comfort zone. You know how we was acting there. It's just something we never had to talk about. We didn't have to speak. We didn't have to, yo, SJ, you see what this is. Let's turn on our play button. You know, we didn't have to do that. It's subconscious. It's just subconscious. It's just like, hey, bro, how you doing? You know, that comes out. And I feel like as black men, we, in the world we live in, we just normally do that. Whereas women of color, not saying that they don't get something similar, but it's not as extreme.
I think that's not true. I think as women, we are especially same. I think it's pretty much the same. Like as black women, it's like I remember like having to go up to my kid's school and my mom's like, "Oh, don't go up there to the angry black woman." I'm like, "But I'm angry and I'm a black woman. How am I supposed to convey that if everybody's afraid of my anger?" Do you get what I'm saying? So, and even like at jobs, there's a lot of microaggressions. You can't talk like, I've seen a lot of posts about black women at work, the workplace, and the microaggressions of white women. And if like I said, I go into work, I'm not necessarily the friendliest, but I'm cordial. If we make eye contact, good morning, but I'm not about to be talking around the water cooler. I'm not about to, oh, hey girl. I'm not talking about my coworkers with my coworkers, but that can be seen as problematic. Oh, you're not being friendly in the workplace. I feel threatened by you. And we have to, it's almost like a performative thing. You get what I'm saying? There's a lot of places where women have to perform and we have to be seen as soft and sweet. So it's like for black women, it's like, I'm not doing, this is what I want to give off. Okay. You get what I'm saying? I don't want to be approachable. I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm over all y'all shit. So
and I understand that.
And I understand, like, I think it's like somewhat detrimental as well because we don't know how to fine tune it.
Okay, so the thing is, like, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm not, when I said that, I didn't mean that, like,
I know
black women don't have to deal with that, but the cause and effect is different. So, for instance, whereas you'll be labeled as the black angry woman or whatever fucking racist,
but we can lose our jobs.
We can lose your job.
We can get our children taken away from us.
I hear that, but I'm saying, like, so a black man could die or go to jail. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm not saying that, like, it's not possible, but it's normal for, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, a cop.
Yes.
If you're in a white neighborhood as a black man and you're acting, you know what I mean, where they see you as a threat and you have to defend yourself or whatever may happen, chances are you could get shot, go to jail. So I'm just, what I'm saying is, like, I'm not saying that.
I think physically black men are, and for women it's emotional, and that's why. So there's a big difference.
It's a difference. So that's why I feel like there's the necessity of black men saying, like, yo, just like we put on the face and we code switch when necessary is more like obvious to do than whether, like, you know, a black woman would say, like, I don't feel like doing that shit today and I'll deal with the consequences.
I think we're in a time where black women are saying that. Okay. I don't think it's always been the case. I think especially like when we look at our grandparents and our parents and they had to adapt to the environments to get jobs, to work. Like you said, when we go on an interview, hi, how are you? Yeah. When we answer the phone, we have to have that kind of tone where they can't tell if we're black women or not. Yeah. Black women are getting tired of it. Yeah. Now, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's become a thing now. Like, I think I mentioned it before, that song, Nice for What? Like, I think that black women are kind of just tired of walking around performing. Yeah. They're done.
Taking it outside of, color and, like, all them things in general, right? You have to remember, if you walk around acting like a gangster, another gangster nigga gonna see you to try to test you. You get what I'm saying?
I got something.
Like energy is energy at the end of the day. There comes a price to walking around with resting bitch face. There's a price.
So
I think a lot of women don't mind. We're willing to pay it.
So I wanted to touch that. You brought something to my mind. I was watching the Jordan Peterson? Yeah. Jordan Peterson interview where he was talking about men dealing with each other with conflict. So a man, before it leads to violence, it's like we have a conversation, a disagreement. We are aware of the fact that, hey, this disagreement could lead to something where chaos can happen.
Right. Mm-hmm. I think I see.
So because we know that's possible, we won't
instigate a situation.
We'll take. It's basically like that saying, with great power comes great responsibility. Absolutely. We know that one of us will come, if this gets too far, somebody's going to get hurt, somebody can go to jail, blah, blah, blah.
Most likely it's going to be you.
But when it comes to a man or a woman, we know that it's the scariest thing, because when it comes to a man dealing with a irrational woman, there's no endless, there's nothing the man can do. Right. To a woman that is irrational, or, you know what I mean? So it's like, with that being said, I'm sorry, what's the point? You said something that made me spark that thought.
No. Because I saw the interview that you were talking about, and it's basically, I saw another podcast, they were talking about that men live in a fact-based reality, right? So we know if we have an argument and this argument escalates, then it's going to turn into something physical. We had a conversation before where I would mention my mom talking crazy to the cops or going into the store and like raising hell in the store because she knew that it wouldn't get physical. Yeah. There's like this double standard where women can be in a man's face, mushing them and be like, it's not okay, but mushing them and like in their face and like, oh, what you gonna do, nigga? As soon as they get hit, it's like, oh, Baba say, whoa, you get what I'm saying? That sounds like, and it's like, it's just because of the fact, to bring it back, that arguably, I'm not sure if I agree with it, but men tend to live more in a fact-based reality, where women live in a reality to where it's like,
how I feel.
I will say it sounds like emotional mind and logical mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a place in between that called wise mind, and it uses consequential thinking. A woman creating a situation for herself,
thinking.
it's consequential thinking. You're not thinking out the consequences based on how you feel. When you're in your feelings, it's very hard to do that. Women are emotional creatures. And a lot of times, well, we all know when you're in your emotions, you're not thinking. You get what I'm saying? So they're assuming because they're women that they won't be on the receptive end of violence because they're women. But that's not using consequential thinking, because you poke a lion, the lion don't care what you are, he's gonna bite you back.
It's almost like violence. That's what men do.
Yeah,
I can do whatever I want.
I can do whatever I want.
And and that's why I think like why a lot of women find themselves in violent situations, because they're using their emotions and they're not reasoning. They're not using reason and logic. Yeah. They're not saying, okay, if I do this, what are the possibilities that come from that? Is there a different way I can handle that situation? And I think me personally watching women behave like that, it disgusted me. And I was never that kind of person, but it also made me just like hyper aware of my involvement in situations. And I have been guilty of throwing tantrums and acting up, but I always knew that, okay, there could be a consequence, and you know that regardless of whether you're a girl or not, you have to face the consequences of your actions. Yes. And I think a lot of women think that no one's gonna hold them accountable. You get what I'm saying? The worst thing that's gonna happen is you hit me and you're gonna go to jail. Yeah. Nothing's gonna happen. I'm gonna get hurt, but somebody's gonna pick me up and help me and fix me and make me feel better about it, and he's going to be in trouble. So I'm willing to take that.